Good evening, everyone. I hope that you're all safe during this quarantine and are taking all the precautions needed to stay safe from the coronavirus. This semester was supposed to be different for all of us. I know that the situation that we're in is very difficult, but the only way we will get through this is by staying at home. So with that, I would like to welcome you all to this video where I, Apprehension, will be talking about communication apprehension and the ways that we can avoid it when speaking in public. If we observe closely, we will discover that most of us aren't really good speakers. It's because in countries like Bangladesh, we're not really taught how to do so at school, and instead, we are burdened with the pressure of 12 to 14 different subjects, out of which only a few come in handy in the real world. As a result, when we are asked to speak at an assembly or in front of an audience, almost all of us get a certain level of anxiety, which can also be severe in the case of some people. This, my dear viewers, is what we call communication apprehension. It can be defined as fear or anxiety people experience at the thought of communicating with others or in the act of communicating with others. This is a term that was first coined by James McCroskey in the year 2001. You see, my viewers, being afraid of speaking in front of an unknown audience is nothing to be ashamed about. Because even if some people tell you it is not a very big deal, you should know that most of the times they're actually bluffing. Even the best of the best speakers get nervous sometimes when having to speak in front of an unknown audience. And that, my fellow classmates, is absolutely normal. This is because one can never be fully prepared for everything that an audience will throw at you. What you can do for best results is to be as prepared as possible. As a result, honestly speaking, I'm a very talkative person, and most of the times I'm very confident about what I talk about on a daily basis. But even after all of that, I get really anxious sometimes, even when I have to speak in front of a known audience, such as my classroom, where I have to present something. Even after knowing exactly what I have to present, or know exactly what to say. This is a form of communication apprehension as well. But instead of complaining about it and making it a visible weakness of mine, I decided to work on it. And I found a few different ways to tackle my anxiety. Today, in this video, I would like to share some of those with you here. You see, many people will give you different ideas. Some of them work, some of them don't. But that does not mean that they are always right or always going to be wrong. They are just personal suggestions about what a person feels is right for them or wrong for them. According to me, the first way to prevent communication apprehension is by actually knowing what you want your speech to be about. If you actually take the time to do some research prior to writing your speech, it will be easier to present it. The next thing I usually do is I practice it thoroughly, at least 2 to 4 times, in front of a friend or family member, and if it's not possible to do that, I practice it in front of a mirror or in front of a stuffed animal, because you know, girls have it. Try to prevent the way you want to say it without actually looking at the script at all. Number 2, on the day of the program, try to reach the venue a little earlier than usual and make a few friends. Even if it's a classroom presentation, try to spend some time with the people, especially with the ones that are sitting in the first and the last rows. Try to find some friends that you're comfortable with and make them spread out in the whole room so that when you're giving a speech, you at least have one familiar face in every position of your audience. Because, looking at a familiar face helps a lot when you're messing up. Another thing that helps me reduce communication apprehension is by walking around the room like you might see me doing in the video. But make sure that if you really do that, you don't take like large steps or jump around, because that, my viewers, looks very, very strange. And people might think you're crazy. You see, one of the main reasons that most people face communication apprehension is because they feel that the audience is judging them. For those people, they start demeaning themselves, which is not right. And instead of focusing on the speech, they eventually just end up messing it up. An advice for them would be to stop, take a breath, and focus on yourself. You're here because you're the best. And honestly, people will judge you whether you're right or wrong. What matters is that you know you're here because what you're saying is good. So you should do it in the best way that you can. Enjoy the opportunity while the speech lasts, because it's worth it. And you're here because you are worth it. Thank you everyone for patiently hearing me out. Stay safe and good night.